Reuben Abati, I met in 1979. 1987-88. He came as a youth corper, the University of Benin. His latest outburst on Igbo race has destroyed all my respect for Reuben Abati. But if you have been hiding and pretending, it will come out one day, and it has come out of Reuben Abati's mouth, and that's why he's paying for it.
The question I would really like an answer to is, does Reuben Abati, does he have something against Peter Obi and obedience? Because I don't understand. You know, when it seems as if when Reuben Abati is speaking about either Peter Obi or obedience, there's this venom that comes out of him. Even when there's really nothing, he's either making snide remarks, he's putting one thing or the other, he's trying to bring, you know, Peter Obi down or the obedience. That there's always something about him that is really always off. And then you see him, he's like at his element when he's using some very derogatory terms to either describe Peter Obi or mostly describing obedience and, you know, stuff like that. And then he has these snide remarks about him and stuff and a whole lot of things. I don't get it. Is there any one of you that actually does get something? Please just watch this video.
You said Mr. Peter Obi is sponsoring a mob of reckless people who are defaming people, attacking people, bullying people, threatening people on social media and everywhere. A headless mob of bullies. Are you referring to the obedience? And I would like you to comment further on that characterization of this mob that you say Peter Obi is sponsoring, and how that mob poses a threat to the administration and to society.
Welcome back to Local Journal, my people. This TV presenter, what they call Reuben Abati, it be like say he get personal beef, I be personal problem with Peter Obi. Because if you are listening to an interview and anytime when they talk about anything where concern Peter Obi, they always talk him out of hate. The question why they always ask in guests, now question where we say he go instigate people against Peter Obi. They always look for a way to add fuel to the fire so that they go feel drag the man, even if the man don't talk any bad thing, so that they go feel even drag the obedient as well. Shebi election don't come and he don't go. And Tinubu na be the president now. Why una still dey hate him? The hatred when Reuben Abati and Reno Omokri get for Peter Obi, it be like say Peter Obi collects their style. If not, I don't understand this one again. If we listen to the question where he throw to this guy where they call Alex Moka, where threaten Peter Obi and where insult the obedience, una go see how Reuben Abati take frame the question. Una go see say this man just want instigate people against Peter Obi and his supporters where they call obedience. The good thing where they inside this thing be say, no be only me see this thing. Plenty people don't see him and they don't talk about this matter as well. So I will play the video for now. Make una listen to what they talk. But before we watch the video, if today might be the first time you visit our channel, make you like, make you share, and make you subscribe to our channel.
Not be too much for you to expect that Peter Obi can talk to a movement over which he has no control. They seem to have a mind of their own.
I mean, just help me understand it. Where is that coming from? That whole, you could see him as if he's in his elements, describing, you know, this vicious, whatever he thinks he's describing. You could see him feeling himself and the words. It's almost as if the what do they call this thing? The veins on his neck stand up anytime that he's talking about, you know, obedience and stuff like that. It's no longer even just subtle, it's just constantly happening. You see him doing the same thing all over again. And then when there was a particular video I was watching, he was so uncomfortable. Why is it that he feels that, oh, he doesn't want a situation whereby, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Now they will not invite him. You know, he said that you people are privileged. That the former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, decided to have a media chat. You know, he was there, so he felt privileged. Maybe he's feeling that, oh, so that next time they will invite him again. The place at the table is always what some people are always gearing for, you know, irrespective. And so, because I don't get it, you could see how uncomfortable he was, you know, during that, when the lady, the other journalist was, you know, questioning this guy over what he has done, which is like, You were not focused on the fact. Is there anything that Peter Obi has said in his New Year message that was not focused on what is happening, on facts and figures, and even brought solution? He pointed out things. This time they couldn't say that, oh, he's only talking and not bringing us solution. And which is one of the things I've always said to people, like when people come and like, oh, proffer solution, I say, please go and meet the people you elected or the people that rig their way into office on your behalf. Go and ask them for solutions. Nobody owes anybody solution, because most times, especially we find our journalists doing that, they will not hold the person who is destroying the country accountable for solution. Then you that you are pointing out the destruction, it is you, they will not be telling you that, you are just talking, you are not proffering solution. It's not my business to proffer solution for anybody. The person who still on our mandate, where they destroy, now like, me not ask them, me proffer solution. But anyway, he didn't have time to obey. If you really look at that video, you could see how uncomfortable Reuben Abati, seemed to be.
Supporters of Mr. Peter Obi, popularly known as the Obedient, have been throwing shades at Dr. Reuben Abati, one of the presenters of Arise News program, The Morning Show. The Obedient are arguing that Dr. Reuben Abati is allegedly fond of casting aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi at any given opportunity. The question now is the assertion of the Obedient against Dr. Reuben Abati, is it true? To determine this, I'll be playing you 4 videos and 1 bonus video. The 4 videos are about Peter Obi, the statement that Dr. Reuben Abati had made at different times about the person of Mr. Peter Obi. Then the 5th video is a bonus video that will help you in determining whether Dr. Reuben Abati is truly casting aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi or doing his job. It is important that you stay to the end, because that 5th video will at the end of the day determine what your final decision will be. Let's dive into the videos, great people. Let's watch them. At the end of watching the 4th video, I'll give you a brief discussion, then I'll play you the 5th video. Let's dive into it.
When I saw the press conference by Mr. Peter Obi yesterday, I thought it was needless. If Mr. Peter Obi is considering a career in evangelism, yeah, there are many people who have gone from other careers into evangelism, but within the framework of the electoral process, what he did yesterday was just, in my view, just seeking media attention, looking for publicity. Why do I say so? The electoral process is effectively a process. If you, as a principal member of the process, if you have any grievances, the best place to go to is the court of law, and which is what Atiku Abubakar has done, the presidential candidate of the PDP, pursuing his matter in the court of law. The last time Waziri Atiku Abubakar had a press conference, he came out and said he wanted the candidate of the NMPP, Rabiu Kwankwanso, to join him, and also Peter Obi of the Labour Party to join him. The Labour Party released a statement and said they were not part of it. Okay, is it that now the Labour Party has changed its mind? The only appropriate forum that Mr. Peter Obi can adopt is to go to court to say he has issues to raise. But to come forward and then be giving a press conference and moralizing, it doesn't quite fall within the framework of the matter before us. But of course, for publicity purposes, for attention-seeking purposes, what he has said has generated attention. And I think that the response that he has received from Felix Moka of the APC is in place. What Felix Moka has said is that the 8.9 million people who voted for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the election, in the presidential election, they were not groggy when they did. So there's clearly a division on the matter in Nigeria. And the only place you can resolve it is not through propaganda, it's not media attention, it's in the court of law. So Mr. Peter Obi must be very clear about the fact that the matter is now before the Supreme Court, and it's only the Supreme Court that can decide on that particular matter. I need you to pay attention to this. You said Mr. Peter Obi is sponsoring a mob of reckless people who are defaming people, attacking people, bullying people, threatening people on social media and everywhere. A headless mob of bullies. Are you referring to the Obedience? And I would like you to comment further on that characterization of this mob that you say Peter Obi is sponsoring, and how that mob poses a threat to the administration and to society. There is a group that has emerged now of obedient Nigerians, and that is spelled OBI-DIENT. So they say they are obedient. Yes. And I even read an article where a columnist says that Nigeria now is facing in parts of the country what is called obsession. In other words, that people are obsessed with Peter Obi, and you find the majority of these people, carrying placards on social media defending him. One man has resigned from his lecturership position to go and support Peter Obi. One lady has left a job also to support Peter Obi. I hear some women are contemplating leaving their husbands to go and pay for Peter Obi. I don't know how that will work out. I know Mr. Obi likes to put figures from Bangladesh, from India, from China, but that's not what we're talking about.
There you have it. You just watched 4 videos showing Dr. Reuben Abati's remarks about Mr. Peter Obi at different points in time. Now let us look into the 4 videos before I play you the bonus video, which is the 5th video. Now video 1 is about Mr. Peter Obi during the presidential election, whereby he held a press conference after the presidential election. Well, for me, from my own perspective, that video 1 is an attack on Mr. Peter Obi's choice of strategy and communication. The case is in court. Okay, that's fine. But that doesn't stop Mr. Peter Obi from communicating with his voters, from communicating with people that have supported him and have cast their vote for him. So if he chooses to address the press and the press has given him the attention, then I don't think it is of any concern or should be of any concern to Dr. Reuben Abati. And even if it is of a concern, it should come by way of advice. But the way Dr. Reuben Abati puts that particular video, it shows that he's not advising Peter Obi in the true sense of it. That video is largely an aspersion on Peter Obi's choice of strategy and communication. People will come up with different strategy. For instance, during the election, Peter Obi was attending media invites, he was speaking to the press. Other candidates, some of them did not, show such decision. They do not take such decision to speak to the press. So different candidates with different strategies. So when a candidate is using the strategy that believes works for him, you don't need to cast aspersion on such a candidate, because different people with different strategy. Now let us talk about the second video. The second video is about Mr. Peter Obi sponsoring a mob of headless bullies, allegedly. Now, what I see in that particular video is that Dr. Reuben Abati is trying to ask a question. He's trying to ask Felix Smoker. You will recall that Mr. Peter Obi recently had a press conference where he rebuked the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he said a lot in that press conference that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made 30 foreign trips during the 580 days of his administration, and he has spent a total of 180 days abroad. He scored Tinubu low on infrastructure provision, and he rated him high on providing economic hardship. He said a lot in that video, just as any normal opposition would say. So Felix Smoker gave a response attacking Peter Obi, and Mr. Peter Obi deemed that attack as a threat to life. Now, Felix Smoker was on Arise TV to debunk that, he's not threatening Peter Obi. And while trying to ask a question, Dr. Reuben Abati says that Felix Smoker accused Peter Obi of sponsoring a mob of headless bullies. Well, the thing is, I don't know whether Felix Smoker made that particular statement the way Dr. Reuben Abati has put it. That is one thing. Another thing is that you can say you are crazy in 2 ways. You can say you are crazy, and you can also say you are crazy. It's in 2 ways. So the way Dr. Reuben Abati emphasized on that particular question shows that there seems to be a more of personal interest in it, other than just asking a question innocently. Because the way he emphasized it, just as I used the example of that, you can say you are crazy in 2 ways. There's a way that he can ask that question more professionally, in my opinion, than the way he has asked it. And that is the particular video. That video number 2 is the one that got the obedience enraged, because if you are calling them to their face as mob of headless bullies, you are using words like reckless and all that. So definitely the obedience are not having it. But then I can cover Dr. Reuben Abati based on the fact that we can say that, okay, he's trying to ask a question, but then sincerely, he can be more professional, he can be more logical and more reasonable in the way he asks such a question. So now we go to video number 3. For video number 1, I'll rate it as an attack. For video number 2, because Dr. Reuben Abati was asking a question, I may let that fly. And now, video number 3, he said, people obsessed with Obi. Now, that video number 3 is more like a joke, but Dr. Reuben Abati again was being serious. In the sense that he said people are obsessed with Peter Obi. He says that a particular lecturer resigned, that a lady left her job. Now, how true this is, it remains to be verified, because I don't think that anybody will just leave a job just because he wants to follow Peter Obi, except you are part of the campaign team, you are part of the presidential campaign team. But if you don't know Peter Obi, if you cannot move close to Peter Obi by a range of 100 meters and you go and resign, you're on your own. By the time hunger flog you and your family, you will return back to that your work. So the second one is more like stressing the impact of Peter Obi and doing it in a joking way. So I won't read that as an attack, sincerely. I won't read it as an attack because he is trying to tell people about how the person of Peter Obi is gaining acceptability like a wildfire. So sincerely, it will not be right to call that an attack. Now, the video number 4, before we go to the 5th video, which is a bonus, is that, you see, in that particular video number 4, Dr. Reuben Abati clearly deviated from the discourse to cast aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi, because I watched that particular video, the extended version of it, and it was during Felix Morka's appearance on Arise News. And they weren't talking about figures. They weren't talking about the strategy of Mr. Peter Obi, the lyrics that he used to win his voters. Dr. Reuben Abati just went off the radar and says that, Obi is fond of quoting figures. No, if you watch the full extension of that, they are not talking about figures. They are talking about the alleged threat to Peter Obi's life. So how does that concern figures? So for me, again, just as I pointed out in one of the videos, I think that particular one, the video number 4, is also an aspersion on the person of Mr. Peter Obi. But then, is Dr. Reuben Abati fond of casting aspersion on such people, or is just doing his job? Before you take your decision, in fairness to Dr. Reuben Abati, I will end with a video of him and of his comment about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where he talked about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, speaking. You remember before the 2022 presidential election, during the campaign, about Bala Blue, Bulaba. Let me leave you to watch the video, and at the end of it, I want to see what you think in the comment section. Is the obedient right about Dr. Reuben Abati casting aspersion repeatedly on Mr. Peter Obi, or from the video number 5 that you are going to watch now, Dr. Reuben Abati is just doing his job? Let's watch the video.
And all that. Well, if I was Asiwaju Tinubu's strategist, I probably would come and say, well, what Nigerians do not know is that the man speaks other languages that may not be known to Nigerians. Maybe it's a polyglottal, affectation. So when he says blah blah blah, 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 or he says gru 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 gru, maybe he's a polyglot. But then his strategies need to identify that language for us. But going forward, he should speak the kind of language that the electorate we understand, not blah 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 gru 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 gru. No, I think that's the point there. But
well, all right.
The strategists can turn it around and say he's a polyglot. He speaks in many tongues as the spirit moves him.
That's exactly what I mean.